Hello, and welcome to Tea and Cornbread, a conversation with Sean and Tracy. I am Sean,
And I'm Tracy.
and we are talking to you all that are 50 and fabulous.
And don't forget handsome.
And we want you to know that we want to get some education happening,
Yes.
some empowerment.
We want to grow with you. We want to learn with you. We want to see what you're doing, 50 and over.
So like, share, comment, follow, subscribe,
Grab your
and
tea.
grab your tea. Hey, 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 it's Tea and Cornbread. Hello, everyone. How are you?
Very well, thank you. Good morning.
Good morning,
Good
good morning, good
morning.
morning. Or it's Grand Rising, right? Grand Rising. So this is Tea and Cornbread. Another episode with someone fabulous. We will talk about who she is in a minute. But Trey, how are you and how was your weekend?
My weekend was bittersweet.
It was bittersweet.
Yeah.
Okay.
We had a funeral service yesterday for my cousin. And I say bittersweet because it was an awesome funeral service. Like,
okay.
not to be
It
funny,
was a
but
homegoing.
it was, yeah.
Celebration.
The people that, family, friends that loved Sheila really showed up and showed out. So it did my heart good. So thank you,
Yeah.
Waterbury.
She was.
Thank
She
you,
was.
Waterbury.
Oh my goodness.
Yes.
Yeah. I didn't make it there, but
Yeah,
I
there was
there
other
in
stuff
spirit.
going on, and
Yeah.
people were committed to other things. We understand
No,
that.
not
so.
about no. It's just
Okay.
that's all right.
Okay.
Sheila was an awesome person. Oh my
Yes,
goodness, she was
yes.
awesome. The sweetest person ever.
She really was.
Really?
Always smiling, made you feel
Yeah.
good no matter what was going on.
Yeah.
So.
Yep. So, and I haven't met her daughter.
Oh,
I
okay.
talked to her, but I hadn't met her daughter, and I wanted to see her before she left, but we couldn't make that happen. But anyway, yeah, that is bittersweet, and condolences to the family. Prayers and condolences to the family. But her spirit stays.
Definitely.
I watched the funeral online last
did?
night. Yeah, I saw it
Yeah.
last night. So
Good,
it was
good.
awesome. So my weekend was filled with stuff, like
Okay.
work. You know what I mean?
That
So
face though, good stuff, different stuff.
sometimes you just feel like, why are you still doing stuff? You know what I mean?
So that's what you felt like yesterday?
Yes, I did. It was like, goodness gracious. But I did walk downtown to the gathering.
Okay.
When about 5:30, 6 o'clock. So people, but every country was represented.
Okay.
Every country,
Nice.
even the Congo.
Nice.
You know what I mean? Every country was
And
represented.
what was the gathering? What is
It was a celebration of Waterbury turning 350 years old.
that? Oh, wow.
And so I guess I'm assuming they do the gathering every year. I'm not positive. But it was a 2-day celebration. And so it was from people from all countries that represent, that live here and things like that, did their cultural.
Their different heritage.
Yeah.
Yeah. Walk with their flags,
Right.
their garb.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And so when I was just walking through, and like I said, it was towards the end, I just noticed all the different signs, and it was every country.
Nice.
You
So
know
was
what
a
I'm
good
saying?
crowd down there? Because sometimes,
Yeah,
you
well,
know.
it was towards the end.
Yeah.
I got there towards the end, so
Okay.
the crowd wasn't thick when I got there.
Yeah.
But it was amazing
Nice.
to see that.
I'm
I
glad
was
to
like,
hear it.
okay.
Honestly, I've never been to one.
Me either. So I
Plans
went
were
down
to go to yesterday's, but
Right.
so maybe if they do, I don't know if they do it every year either.
I'm not sure. I think they do though. I know they
Okay.
do the gathering, I believe. But so I just went down to pass out cards for the co-op.
Okay.
You know what I mean? To see what they had going on and stuff, because we weren't able to vend. We were supposed to look into vending, and we weren't able to. So that was it. But I was really surprised
Nice.
that
Nice.
every country
awesome.
Yeah.
was there. So
Nice.
that was really cool. So I'm gonna read the affirmation. We'll do our breathing, and then we'll jump on in to our
Yes,
guests.
We will talk about our guests.
All right. So today's affirmation, it says, beaten up and beaten down. Heavens raise the roof, earth wake the dead, mountains send up cheers. God has comforted his people. He has tenderly nursed his beaten up, beaten down people. That's Isaiah 49:13. If you are feeling mentally beat up today by life, choose to be strong and in faith. If you are feeling like beaten down, like a beaten down person, be confident in God's promise to tenderly nurse you back to sound emotional health. At every turn in each circumstance, the Lord will comfort those who love him. He has the perfect way to soothe an anxious heart and console a weary spirit. And better than anyone else, God can bring a sense of calm that reassures He is with us. Where do you need His comfort today? Are you battling fear with finances? Are you grieving the loss of a loved one? Is national news wearing you down? Has an important relationship crumbled? Are you at wit's end with the situation? Regardless, God is with you and ready to ease the anxiousness. Have you asked for help? Have you asked for His help? Life is hard and the journey is difficult, but you have a wonderful Father who's ready to encourage and guide each step of the way. Lean into Him. Lord, it brings relief to know you care when I feel overwhelmed by life. Please comfort me today because my heart needs it.
Amen. Yes.
Right?
Yes.
I love that.
Right? That's like one of those you just need to sit for
Sit
a
back,
second
yep.
and reflect.
Everything
Wow.
off. TV
Right on
off.
time.
Sit
It
down.
is always on time.
Yes.
Always on time. So I'm excited. I am excited to have.
That's gonna be her tagline.
Okay, go ahead.
I'm excited. It's not a bad thing, but she is really excited.
Yeah.
Because we be having awesome people up here. So
all the time.
welcome, Tammi.
Thank you. Thank you for having me.
Yes. So Tammi, let me tell you, Tammi and I known each other forever. We were introduced by Miss Lisa Jones because she always tells me I was her friend. You were my friend first, right?
Yes.
So shout out to
Go way
Lisa
back.
Jones. Yes, we go way back. I mean, from like clubbing days, right?
Clubbing, yes. The hair.
Yeah, all of
Yeah,
that, all
yeah.
of that. So I'm so excited to have you on, because you're over 50 and fabulous, right? Because
Thank you,
you know
yes.
that's what our target is really,
Yes.
right?
Yes.
But just some of your the things that I know from a retired police officer and now yoga instructor,
Yes.
right?
Yes.
Yoga enthusiast.
Yes.
And so I know there's a lot that happens in between, but our reason for bringing you on, or my reason for wanting to bring you on, is because of taking care of yourself and going into yoga and like wanting to know your journey on how do you go from the mean streets of being a police officer, right, into becoming a yoga enthusiast. So Tammi Means, thank you for coming.
This is fun. Thank you for inviting me.
Yes.
Yes.
Tell us a little bit about yourself.
Excuse me. As Sean said, we go way back. And my journey coming into yoga, I have to start with my childhood, pretty much. Just dancing, ballet, things like that I've always had, I guess, an enthusiasm for movement. Let's say that, right? Playing sports, ballet. And what yoga did for me when I first started, it brought me back to my childhood almost, just with those warm-ups and the stretches and things like that. And I always loved that,
Okay.
And I just like moving. I love dancing. I'm dancing in the house. I like movement, and I like being able to share that. So what brought me to doing the instruction, taking the course, I was out of work. I retired back in 2018.
Okay.
So I was a police
Yay.
officer for 25 years and 6 months.
Nice.
And I retired as a sergeant from the New Haven Police Department. And I started working at my current job. I do federal court security with the U.S. Marshals. And I had a major incident that occurred in my training. And it was a firearm incident. I injured myself pretty badly. And I was out of work in 2021. And I said, in the pandemic, we were kind of out of work. And I said, let me check this out. It was just popping up on everything about yoga instruction. So I took a course while I was out injured from work. And here I am now. And it was a major injury. And it was mentally challenging for me to kind of be able to focus back on what I was doing, let's say, in life, mentally challenging. And what yoga did for me was gave me that mindfulness, that calmness, and just being able to share that with others is what I wanted to do, and that's what brought me to, becoming an instructor.
Yes.
So
Nice.
Yes.
Yoga. Ugh. Like I'm one of those people that, that's a dirty word. But it's really not. And I don't mean it in a negative way, but yoga is not one of the things that I've gotten into. Sean has have yoga classes, at her studios. And I'm like, I don't know. I personally find it difficult to do yoga. The movements. Sometimes you got to be very serene when you're in there. How do you work with somebody like me?
So what people know traditional yoga to be is not what I do, right?
Okay.
I'm not your instructor that's going to come in, lie on your mat, give you directives almost. But I will guide you through the practice. I like to have fun. I do like to, laugh a little with, the people that are there, my regulars that are coming now. And, it's just like they know what to do, get on your mat, and I'm going to walk you through it. I'm going to guide you through it. I'm going to tell you what you need to do. I start with breathing. I start like a warm up, and then I build you up, and then I warm you back down, and then it's over. So,
Okay. Hold on one second.
Okay.
We did not do our breathing. We always do our breathing before an episode. So do you mind kind of guiding us through? We have some essential oils. So I'm sorry. We usually do our breathing
We didn't.
right after doing the affirmation.
did
And
say
so
that.
yeah. I'm like, wait a minute. What do you, and she's a yoga instructor. So we could have been impressive if we did our breathing before, We could have impressed her, right?
We could have impressed her. You think so? I think hers is probably different than ours.
Yeah.
Like you said.
Do
So
you mind?
No, I don't.
Okay. All right. So we use
That's a great setup. Great segue.
Right,
Yeah.
right. So we use essential oils. I have thieves and I have clarity. Thieves I'm going to use because my throat is something going on. But we have clarity. You can smell it first. See
Okay.
which one you like best.
That's nice.
Nice. All right. Excuse me, y'all, for this pause. It's very important that we do this.
I like clarity.
You like
Yeah.
clarity? Okay.
Clarity's
Clarity
my thing.
might help my
Yeah.
my co-host here.
You see me?
Yes.
And what do we do?
You're gonna okay. So
I don't know what's going on over here.
I'm gonna just put one drop and then you rub it in your hand,
Okay.
and then you can guide us through.
Oh. Yeah, that's nice. Oh, you got to stay on the microphone here. Okay. So a really short practice that I like to open with is just, if you choose to, close your eyes. And it's called the breath of 4 ratios. And you're inhaling for 4 seconds, you're holding your breath for 4 seconds, and then you exhale for 4 seconds. So we can do that 3 times? Okay. And just close your eyes and deep inhale. 2, 3, 4. Hold it. 2, 3, 4, and exhale. Blow it out until you're empty. One more time. 2, 3, 4. Hold it. 2, 3, 4, and exhale. Last one. Make this your deepest inhale. And just hold it. And exhale. Now just kind of sit with yourself. Come back to your normal breaths. See what space is opened up for you. And your eyes are closed. Just kind of look down and open your eyes. And we're back. Okay.
Thank you.
Yes. Yes.
We don't give it that much time.
Well,
We need to give it that much time.
You know what though? I will say that Sean does do kind of the same thing you do, but ours is 3 seconds, I think, and she does do. It's 4. Okay, and we do in and out. So she would have been impressed if you would have done it.
I would have.
But thank you so
Hey.
much.
Yeah.
Okay.
Oh man.
You're
Okay.
welcome.
All right.
Yeah.
So, ooh.
I know. Back
We-
to our
Yeah,
conversation.
Yeah.
with
Back to our
Tammi.
conversation.
One of the things I read also in your bio is Reiki. Tell us a little bit about that. Is that hands-on, not hands-on? I tried to read up on it a little bit, but when I looked, it kind of seemed like it was hands-off.
It is hands off the way that I practice it. And I just recently had this training and became an instructor. So I haven't really actually practiced it. I've done it on myself.
Okay.
And it's a little bit different. But the time that I did do it, it's hands off.
Okay.
You know, just kind of moving the energy in the person's body and kind of stopping where your body feels, I guess, the place that is most needed.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
So,
So it's kind of it's a healing way of moving energy through your body. Okay, it's not gonna heal you from any type of ailments that you have, but
Okay.
similar to yoga, it's just moving that energy and believing that this it's helpful. You know, you have to kind of understand it, but it's not something that's gonna heal like a disease or anything like that.
Yeah.
But it's
You're
something
not trying
that,
to move something out of somebody's body.
Right.
Or, yeah.
Right.
And
None
it's
of
just
that.
moving energy and understanding the same way with yoga and focused breathing. It
Okay.
can help with ailments that you have. Like, say, someone who slightly suffers from depression, and, that's a buildup of cortisol. So doing that breath work is kind of a way to open up that space and give you the mindfulness that you need, similar to Reiki.
Okay.
That's the way I describe it.
So, and when we talk about, like when you said at the beginning, you don't do yoga like most people would think, right? Someone asked me the other day if I ever heard that yoga is against God, right? And so I said, yes, I've had, years ago when I wanted to look into it because I like the premise of it. You know what I'm saying? Like it calms you. It keeps you from, it calms your brain because when you were explaining how you're like, no, I just can't,
Yeah.
because some people cannot calm their brain down, and yoga to me is a way of being calm and settling and, because we don't take care of ourselves, right? We don't take that time to breathe. We sip air. I say it all the time, we sip air. And so when someone said to me, yeah, you got to be careful because, you're opening your spirit to, devil and this, that, and the other, which is possible. That's anything and anywhere you go, really. It's not just yoga, right? Or Tai Chi or Reiki and things like that. To me, those are old practices that's been around forever before the medical world, right? Before the medical world. And also, if we just go back to some of those things, those basic, because to me, that's like basic, right? Basic practices. So yoga is something like, for me, I like yoga because I don't like jumping around. I don't like, you know what I mean? It's like, I don't want to do calisthenics and stuff like that. I want to like, but you can still get that heart rate up and things like that. So yoga is good for the body and the mind. And Reiki, too, to a certain extent. I think it to me, the way I describe Reiki for, and myself, I've had it done before, is a chance to sit still, right? And if someone has, because that's just like if you go to church and someone says the Holy Spirit, they feel the Holy Spirit, or God told me to this and that, or people laying hands on you, right? So to me, all of that kind of intertwines, right? And so when we talk about Reiki and people having that gift, because you got to have a gift for some of these things. You can't just go and do it, right? You got to have some kind of gift for it. And I remember being at the height of my craziness in my life, like, you know, one of them, you know, because life, you go ups and downs. So I was at my down. I was almost in the valley, right? And I'll never forget when I left there, I just felt a sense of peace. You know, I felt a sense of peace. And like you said, they're moving the energy from whatever you're feeling, because the mindset also is a reason why your body is feeling different things. So like, for instance, if you're having problems with your kidneys or if you're having problems with your liver and things like that, they say that's anger, right? Like, you're so angry that you can affect your kidney. If you're so angry about something, you can affect your kidneys. You know what I mean? And just finding a way to become peaceful with that, or reconciling that, or I don't know,
Open the space
forgive
for
it. Thank you. You know, the
and
language.
move it. Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
You know, for clarity. So even with faith, what we just read, you know, like allowing God to take care of you and letting him do the things that you need to release those things that are troubling you, you know. So I don't know. I believe in it all, to be honest with you. And I always say I take what I need from it and throw the rest away. You know what I mean? Because
Good way of looking at it.
yeah, and when people are talking about yoga, they're like, oh, they chant and they this and they that. I've never been to a yoga class where they chanted. You know what I mean? Even though there are some that do, don't get me wrong. I'm just saying, for me, my own experience, I didn't, because I was looking out for what people were trying to tell me not to do or to be exposed to. And I'm the type of person where I'll check it out for myself, and then I take what I need and throw the rest away.
Okay. So a couple stories to go along with that. When I first started yoga back in, let's say 2002, 3, like really actually doing the practice, I was doing Bikram yoga.
Oh, okay.
So,
Yeah.
and not doing research. And like I said, I like the movement, you know, and the way it made me feel and brought me back to like almost like my childhood, you know, like how strong we were and didn't know how strong we were because we could move and do anything. Like you see kids, like they're doing yoga poses that we as adults would not even be able to like bend that way, right?
Try.
With effortlessly. So I was doing Bikram yoga, and I was reading this book, and I was getting back into my Christianity and going to church more, got saved again. I was reading this book that a friend of mine had given me, and it said exactly that about yoga not being of God. So I stopped. I stopped. And then I heard different things about Bikram later, and I think there's documentaries and things like that, how there's some issues around it. But when I got back into the practice and when I started, training, I said, I have to make this something that's for me, right? And not for me. In Bikram, they told you, clear your mind.
Clear your mind.
Clear your mind. And that scared me because when I was reading the book, it was saying never clear your mind because it allows those spirits and things to you don't know
enter.
what's in that person next to you and things like that. And it scared me and I stopped.
Okay.
So fast forward, I think when during the pandemic in 2020, I had just started working the job that I'm at now. And a friend of mine, he invited me to come to this studio where it was just a few of us practicing, and he had the space. And he had just become an instructor. And he was encouraging me to go and instruct. And it was just like 5 of us working out, and exactly a workout, not anything of not anything religious, and no chanting, nothing like that. We're just in there working out. And he encouraged me to become an instructor, and I was able to train with these people and teach with, do my student teaching with them. And later on, I know so what we do in New Haven, there's a group of us, we just teach free classes because we just like it and we wanted to share it. And there was a need for it. There's more of a need for it now, right? So we did have a few older women that were coming to the practice, and there was one of the instructors that she had one of the bowls that you do the sounds.
The sound bowls, yep.
The sound bowl, and she chanted a little. She would sing and things like that. And these ladies stopped coming because of that and not understanding. What it was.
We fear the unknown. And when I said earlier about it being an ugly word, I meant to me, everything is not for everybody. But I did give it another chance. and I should have kind of followed it up with that, not to deter anybody from yoga. I was afraid because what I thought yoga was the twisting and the turning. Like you just said, as we was little kids, we did any and everything. As you get older, you get in those classes and you're thinking, I can't put my head up here. I can't twist my you know what I'm saying? But I do believe now, and I've taken other yoga classes, it takes time.
Yes.
You have to be patient and you have to be open-minded.
Yes.
You know, if you're not open-minded, you don't go into it. And I wasn't in the beginning because I really thought, look, I'm not going to go in there and look silly. I'm not going to sit next to you while you're twisting backwards and I'm sitting there and I can't bend down. But it's a process, and I do enjoy it. But you do have to go in there with an open mind. It's not going to happen overnight. And it is very relaxing, I found.
Right.
And that's exactly what I do for my classes, all levels. Anyone can attend. And my classes are later in the evening, so it's kind of a thing where you're just going to relax and you'll be ready to go to bed when you leave here, you know, and don't worry about what the person next to you is doing. And
That's
with
the
that
thing,
consistent practice, it takes time, you know, for someone that doesn't know how to do it or who has done it to develop a consistent practice if that's what you're looking for, and then it becomes that workout for you.
And that's right. I was just about to say it becomes that workout for you because in anything that you do new, like, you know, she's a gym rat and she goes on a regular basis, and I'm not going in there to try to work out with her. You know what I mean? Because I know.
But it would be the same thing. We would take it slow.
That's my point.
Yeah,
that's my point, right? But also, like you said, it can help in so many different ways, medicinally, you know, with sleep. People that have heart problems going to sleep. Like you said, when you leave my class, you're going to go home and be ready to go to bed, which that's what we need, right? And like you said, with the pandemic, people have, like, what did they say? Mental health issues rose so much. And so if somebody can get into, you know, a routine of practicing some of these things that will calm you down, you know,
slow you down just a little bit.
Yeah, bring that cortisol level down because we are living in a state of, you know, fight or flight on a regular basis, right? Even the kids, you know, shout out to Lawan, Rise Up, Lawan Washington, Eric Washington, and his partners, Kate. They do kids yoga. You know, they do a lot of yoga with the kids. And so, you know, if you are interested in any of this information, you know, we'll put some of that in the description. But I think if people are looking at it from a medicinal or medicinal health reasons, you know, wellness reasons, I should say, you're looking at it from a wellness standpoint, it all coincides together, you know, and it doesn't, you know, you're not taking your foot and bringing your foot to the top of your head. And, you know, we used to go to the hot yoga. Me and Kyle used to go hot yoga. And because Kyle has CP, and so for his muscles, hot yoga was really good for him because he was able to stretch even more because you're warm, right? So any type of wellness activity, period, right, is good for anyone out there that is just, like I said, I don't want to go to the gym. I'd rather go to yoga.
Yeah, you got to
find
Sometimes
I go
works
to
for
sleep
you,
in
though.
between because if we're laying too far.
I've had that.
Yeah,
I've had
sometimes
that.
I'll go to sleep in between.
At the end.
Yeah.
I flip the light on.
You got to wake people up.
You hear the snore, right?
It's over.
It's over. But it's definitely a great practice to try to incorporate into your wellness routine for those that are out there that's trying to put together a wellness routine because, you know, there's so many things that are keeping us from living.
Yes. Now, do you have a certain age, like Sean talked about children? Is there a certain age? Do you do children, or are your classes more geared to adult men and women?
So it's open to all ages, all levels. Some participants have brought their small children, and it doesn't distract me or anyone who's there because that's not the practice that I do. Right. So if there's a child there and they, you know, sit and they're mimicking their parent, it's fine. You know, they're not a distraction. They're just kind of off to the side, but it's open to all levels. My grandkids have come, the two older, And just like I said, when I say flexible,
Yeah.
and they just get out there, I'm like,
Right. Were
Like,
you?
okay.
Yeah. They
But-
just do it.
Yeah.
but just to have them there, and like Sean said, it's like I want to get to my technical
Okay. All right.
definition.
Go ahead.
So it's kind of the lifestyle that promotes balance, development of the body and the soul, right? And it's kind of with the body. If you develop a comprehensive practice, it leads to strength training, weight management, the gym, better posture, stress reduction, sleep quality, pain relief, mind and soul, more energy for brighter moods, increased mental and physical energy, boosts alertness, enthusiasm, fewer negative feelings after getting into a routine of it. And physically, improves blood flow, stretching and movements, and yoga help increase the blood flow to the heart. Improved blood flow means, less, not cure, but maybe less ailment, right? In those
Circulation.
organs, right?
Yeah.
And mental health helps to deal with stress, symptoms of depression, anxiety. A combination of intentional movement and structured breathing can help alleviate symptoms of depression, like we spoke of. Breathing in slow and rhythmic breaths helps with that cortisol, like reduce those levels. And there is a rise in mental health challenges.
Definitely.
Even not diagnosed, but
Yeah.
people may not even realize, but they're they're going through something, and it kind of slows it down and helps you to realize, like, oh, wow, take a couple breaths during the day when I'm at work, and maybe that issue will kind of like, okay, it's not a big deal. And it also connects supportive community relationships. Practicing yoga with a group or one-on-one gives you kind of a sense of, I guess, like a renewed sense of, just being acknowledged and just creating a personalized yoga plan can do that one-on-one or in a group, and it fosters friendships, meeting people, that sense of community.
So in a nutshell, mind, body, and soul.
Yeah.
Yes.
In a nutshell.
In a
Mind,
nutshell.
body, soul.
And people should do their research and see if there's something they would want to do. And don't be closed off. And I'm saying that because I was at one point. And then you listen to everything that you're saying that it brings into your life, and it allows you to grow and let go of certain things. Because you do sometimes, working in the office, I work from home, so sometimes you got to push back. And I do have to. Sean gave us clarity. She took thieves for her day. So doing yoga, learning some techniques from you that you could do on your own, not always having to, or being able to get to a class. So I went to a class last week with Tammi, but I remember her doing X, Y, and Z. I could go sit in my living room or in my bedroom on the mat and do it, for however long. And that's another thing. How long are the classes?
My class is typically an hour.
Okay.
The first part, like I said, it's kind of the breathing, like a little stretch, a warm up, and then it's more your body's, when you're warm, it's more movement.
Yes.
I try to incorporate the flow into that, and then there's a warm down.
Okay.
So it's kind of like the start, the warm up, and then the warm down puts you right back down, and then that's it. It's
Relaxation.
over.
So falling
Yeah.
asleep is it's not a if I fell asleep, would that be a bad thing?
No, it means it's working.
Right.
Okay.
I was
That
gonna
means it's
say,
working.
Yeah,
All right.
yeah.
Good.
That's the way I felt. Just like, I'm able to shut my mind down
Good.
and relax.
Okay.
You're really relaxed.
Yeah.
So tell us where are your classes, when, and how could people get in contact with you? And do you travel to do classes or?
So I kind of do them at my leisure, but the group that we do them, I do them on Wednesday nights in New Haven on Ashman Street. So there is an Instagram page, but I'm not great with social media. I will post little things. It's called the Elm City Yogis.
Elm City Yogis.
Elm
Okay.
City Yogis.
Okay.
I will post if it's been more word of mouth than anything.
Okay.
So I'm not like when I say I'm committed to a practice, but not committed to
the marketing piece of it.
right.
Yeah. Yeah.
which
Which is okay.
because I started working, I'm kind of, I want to,
It's
I
all
want to
right.
make
We all
it
like
something,
that. Yeah.
Yeah.
but I'm not there yet.
Yeah.
I'm getting there.
So she needs somebody to help her, y'all.
Yeah, yeah.
She needs that
I
person.
totally understand
Yeah,
her.
that
I
can
do.
help you.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
But I do, when I do teach on Wednesday nights at 7:45 at 230 Ashman Street in New Haven.
Okay, cool. Cool. 7:45. That's a great time too.
Yes, it
for
is.
Some
It's
people.
perfect.
Yeah, because everybody's out of
perfect.
work.
Yep.
And they probably have eaten already and all of that, and then they could just go. Well,
Is Wednesday the only day?
I know.
So there's a Sunday at 1:00 also.
Oh, okay. Sunday at 1:00. Same
No,
address.
Edgewood Park.
Edgewood
it's
Park.
in New Haven. I don't have a physical address, but it's
Okay,
off Whaley
outside
Avenue.
and then-
And there's
okay.
a different instructor. It's not me.
Okay.
That same thing. All levels. There's kids. There's.
Okay.
Is it outside?
It was outside this summer, but it's inside the pavilion.
Okay,
There's
good.
a pavilion that's they have
Because
an
in my
open space
head, I'm
that they
thinking
do it
I'm
there.
cold.
Yeah.
Sean was reading my mind. I'm thinking, okay, outside in the grass. I don't know.
Okay, so
City Yogis.
Elm City Yogis. Say the address again for Wednesday nights at 7:45.
It's 230 Ashman Street in New Haven.
And then on Sundays at 1:00 is
Edgewood Park.
Edgewood Park.
It's
okay.
actually called the Coogan Pavilion, Coogan Coogan Pavilion.
Okay.
That,
Awesome.
there's classes there as well.
Okay.
Awesome. Awesome.
I'm gonna have to drag my co-host and myself down there. We'll have to figure it out because we have.
But I'll tell you, I am open to, traveling. I've had a couple offers even this past week, like 2 people that reached out. They need a yoga instructor. So I'm thinking about really
Expanding.
Good.
committing
That's
a little
awesome.
more. And
Keep us
and
in
make it
mind.
Already,
happen.
listen,
Keep us
right.
in mind.
I already have something in mind, so
Yeah.
we'll talk offline. We'll talk offline and see how we can, incorporate that some kind of way. And that's it may not be for tomorrow, but
Yeah.
I'm thinking of 2025 because it doesn't make sense for you to come and do one class. You know what I mean? I'm talking like, something consistent, so we'll talk about it. Okay. We'll talk about it. All right. So listen, thank you. Thank you
Yes,
again for
this
coming.
was an awesome
Thank you.
interview.
This was awesome. And we're having fun, right?
very educational, and I say that.
And I would like to have you on again
Yeah.
to, talk more about what you do and how you do it in the more like therapeutic way, the wellness piece of it. You know what I mean? The benefits of, because I think, yes, we can listen to this conversation and talk about it, but I think if we go into a little bit more of exactly what you do and why and the benefits and clients or students that you have taught that's been in your class for a while, what difference have they seen in the length of
benefits of
times
it.
and the length that they have done your class and things like that, because people, we can say it all day, but they always want to see, well,
Yeah.
who did her class for how long and how was it beneficial?
How has it changed their lives?
Right.
Yeah.
How has it
Yeah.
changed their life? Exactly. Yep. So
I just
thank
know
you.
they come every week.
That's great.
There you go.
So that means it's working.
They coming back, so it's working.
Absolutely.
Yes,
Absolutely.
they enjoy it.
All right. So thank you.
Thank
Thank you.
you.
Thank
Thank you
you.
for having me.
And
This was fun.
yep. So you guys, listen, like, subscribe,
Share.
and share. We are over 120 people now, so this is great, right?
Yes.
So, and if you have any topics that you want to know more about, just reach out to us, make some comments when this comes out. If you have done some type of yoga or anything like that, reach out and share your experience on the channel.
Yes.
All right. So thank you.
Thank you.
We'll see you later.
Thank
have
you,
a good
Tammi.
one.
Have a great day,
Thank you for
everyone.
having me.
Yes.
I'm loving this.